Hi, I'm Kathy. Does this book look familiar to anyone? If it does, then we know you are at least as old as I am. Uncle Wiggily's Adventures. This is one of my earliest childhood memories, my mother reading me and my three sisters Uncle Wiggily's every single night. I hadn't thought about Uncle Wiggily for a long time until a teacher in the Kootenai Indian Reservation up at the Flathead Indian Nation in Montana reminded me of Uncle Wiggily. He was talking to me at a break recently, and he said one of his fondest memories was his grandfather reading him Uncle Wiggily. And we had a good chuckle because we were the only people we had ever met who had heard of Uncle Wiggily's adventures. I get questions a lot about reading and whether it's a good idea to read to your children, and of course we hear a lot in the media about reading to your children and how that is a terrific way to encourage reading. And certainly if you enjoy reading to your children, I encourage you to go ahead and continue to do that. But I will let you know that actually reading to your children is not one of our strongest indicators of making children an early reader. In fact, some of the research on it shows us that asking parents to read to their children nightly can sometimes backfire in what we call the broccoli effect. And that is, if you tell parents you have to read to your child every night and the parent doesn't really enjoy reading, and what you get is sort of these family squabbles where the child's trying to play the Xbox or they're on the internet, and then the parent says, you know, put that down, get in here, we've got to read, I'm tired too, but we've got to get this done. And so if it's not an enjoyable experience, it can actually sort of backfire on you. I will let you know that we do have two very strong indicators or ways to make children an early reader. And those two things are, number one, how soon or how early does an adult teach a child that there's a relationship between a symbol and a sound? The sooner you can do that, teach a child that this is a symbol and it represents this particular sound, that will help make a child an early reader. But our biggest predictor, our biggest influence is whether or not that child sees their parent or caregiver personally read for pleasure. In other words, does your child see you sit down and say, oh, free time, it's summer, I can't wait to get into my books, or spending your free time on a Saturday sitting down and reading through a magazine and really enjoying the experience. So if you want to make your child an early reader, the biggest thing you can do is allow them to see you read for pleasure. For more information, go to brains.org.